By the time I got through high school, I was wondering, maybe I need to be a pastor, or maybe I need to be an engineer. But then my technical inclinations wedded together with some of these other thoughts. I thought can be a technical missionary, serving the Lord in evangelical missions overseas through a technical aptitude. So with that, I went to college and got a mechanical engineering degree, went on to seminary. We needed some linguistics in order to learn another language. So we went off to the University of North Dakota, where there was a Summer Institute of Linguistics. SIL was a sister organization to the Wycliffe Bible Translators. I could be a technical missionary by being a Bible translator. So that summer, August 1, 1960, we joined both the Wycliffe Bible Translators and the Summer Institute of Linguistics. We're still members of those organizations. That's 53 and a half years later. We're glad. We got to Vietnam in May 1962 and had 2 terms there as linguist translators for the Sadang people in the Central Highlands of Vietnam. The communists took over South Vietnam, and our people had to leave Vietnam. It was closed. And so we joined them in the Philippines. We finished up our work from Vietnam. We published the New Testament in 4 languages during those years in the Philippines. We also spawned our SL work in Thailand and Malaysia. And we went on to Malaysia, where I directed that work for about 5.5 years. At the end of that period, we went on to Thailand, which was our last overseas assignment for 12 years. And during that period, Maryland had some interesting assignments also, mainly all focused in one general area.
I suppose hospitality would be it, huh? And taking care of my children. That was a lovely, great assignment the Lord gave to us.
I've never wanted to be a place where she didn't have an assignment. She has to have something to do, because I don't want her climbing the walls. We were living in the southern Philippines one night, in the middle of Mindanao, and an earthquake started shaking the house. We were in a 2-story house up on stilts, and it was really swaying back and forth. This was like midnight. I got up in bed, went to the head of the stairs, went, do I take my family outside or not? And I started getting dizzy from the movement of the house. I went back to lay down in bed, and it soon passed. But it turned out that had been a tremendous earthquake, and tsunamis destroyed some villages down there in the coast of the island. We lived just like 100 yards from a place where these big guns would shoot off, and in the middle of the night, bang! Initially, our children would wake, cry, and I'd have to go pet them back to sleep, fight the mosquitoes and all that. But in due course, they slept through those noises.
We'd hear noises outside of our little house. It was actually a storefront with slats for door, because in the daytime, somebody selling goods would put those slats down and people would come in and buy things. Well, that was our home. But anyway, there were noises outside, and you can imagine the worst things. Or when the rockets would be going over. Those were scary times, because we were in Vietnam, and it wasn't. We did hear the fighting in the background. We did have to be very careful. We did not travel around a lot. We were in the bunker a couple times, but we decided it was easier to be on the front porch and watch the bullets go overhead. And then our little son that was born was killed over in Vietnam by an American GI who ran into the car he was in, and he went home to heaven right away. And so at 2 years he was graduated. And that was a very wonderful time to know the Lord was with us, and He allowed it, He planned it, and heaven is very real to us. And we were able to witness to that GI. He was just a 20-year-old fella that he didn't want to hurt anybody, but he'd had too much to drink, and so he ran into the car. And he came to know the Lord there at the chapel, and so we were very thankful we could even speak at his behalf at his trial, and because we held nothing against him. The Lord allowed us. We're still in contact with him. We got his Christmas greeting this year.